Seniors Matter. I'm Brenda Charles Edwards, the host of Seniors Matter. We're here every Friday at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time on www.rainieravenueradio.world, your South Seattle community radio station. You can also listen to us on YouTube and, of course, on the Rainier Avenue Radio app, as well as www.rainieravenueradio.world. We feature interviews with people that provide services or have valuable information for seniors, their families, and the community. Do you need financial documents notarized? Are you a person that needs documents read to you for clarity or completion? Just give me a call at Black Orchid Notary, 206-683-2636. Tell me where, I'll meet you there. Well, I'm really excited. Today, my guest is Carmelle Bias. She's the creator of Women in Business Expo Group. It is a nonprofit organization where the mission is to support and empower business-minded individuals by providing resources that develop leadership skills and enhance I'm having a hard time. That enhance personal and professional growth. Welcome to the show, Carmelle.
Yes, welcome.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Are you able to hear me?
I hear you just fine.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for having me on your show today. I truly appreciate this.
Well, I'm glad it worked out. I've heard of your group, and I think once a long time ago, I might have even gone to a meeting.
Yes, and more than likely, I think that's how we initially met.
Yes.
And it's been a while for sure.
It has, but
yes.
I'll have to look into this again. Where do you meet, by the way?
Yes, right now we're still meeting virtually via Zoom.
Okay.
Once a month. Yes, we were, prior to COVID, we were meeting at the 2100 building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and when is it, what day of the month is it you meet?
Every fourth Wednesday of the month, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay. So how does one get a Zoom link?
Yes. So what they would need to do is they can go to the website and register. Or if you are already in our database, what we do is we normally send out the Eventbrite link for those that are interested to go ahead and register for that's our monthly empowerment sessions. Okay.
And so this is the third week of the month?
It's usually the fourth Wednesday of the month.
No, I said, is this the third week of the month? So, because I've lost track. Let me find a calendar. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know the Lord woke me up this morning and I'm here and I'm grateful.
Well, I can tell you July 30th is the last Wednesday in July. I can tell you that much.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I just missed it. Darn it.
Yes. But there'll be another one coming up next month, and we're just getting ready to send that information out for August. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Woo, girl, I tell you. Well, I'm here and we're here. So I'm just excited to be able to share your information and knowledge with my audience. So could you please tell us a bit about yourself?
Yes. Well, as you mentioned, my name is Carmelle Bias. I am originally from Seattle, Washington, born and raised right here. So, and I'm glad for that. I run into a lot of people that are not from here, but I always love to, represent Seattle.
I'm a native too, Carmelle.
Yes. So originally from here, started out many years ago in the travel industry as far as for my work history. Well, I've always had an interest in math, been very good in numbers. And so started out, like I said, my career in the travel industry for many years, was a travel agent, and then went into working for Northwest Airlines, which no longer exists. So that tells you how long.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I used to work for the airlines too. I was with Western to start with.
Okay.
So
yeah. Yep. Exactly. So yes, worked with Northwest. However, of course, after 9/11, the fun ended, and so it became more strenuous, more stressful. Go into accounting, and I started working for the Washington State Department of Agriculture, which was definitely with numbers, everything. So, but I always had an interest in business. And what I did was I used my from my past to encourage myself to take a step of faith and then start business. So in 2024, started my own business called Mascu Inc. I actually created a hairpiece called the Hat Go hairpiece for women who've lost their hair to chemotherapy. And from that, started, like I said, my own business, which was an online healthcare beauty boutique where I sold hair pieces, hair accessories, headbands, natural hair care shampoo, conditioner, anything for hair. I was into that. Yes. So, and that was my online business. And I ran that business from 2004 up to 2013. And at the same time, I'm still working a job too. So I'm going to work and managing a business at the same time.
I understand.
And, yes. And I thought,
and running and hosting a radio show.
Right. And doing it all. That's And I thought that's how it was supposed to go. That's what you're supposed to do. Right. But yeah, once I realized that's not what you're supposed to do, like I said, I transitioned from employment. I finally was able to take that step of faith in 2013. And I said, you know what? I am tired of working for somebody else and trying to manage my own business and trying to do everything myself. And so, I'm going to go full force in my business and I'm going to commit myself to this. And that is what I did. And so from there on, I transitioned out of the hairpiece business and then started Women in Business Expo Group in February of 2015.
Wow.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I can relate to all of that. I was talking with a friend this morning and she said, well, what all are you doing? And I said, how much time do you have?
Yes. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, though, I think what makes it, I won't say easy, but tell me if you agree, adjustable, is that you're not doing everything every day.
Right.
So you have a mixture, and some days you may not do anything. And that's when you go get your nails done, pedicure, go to the spa, whatever.
Right. And there's definitely time for that. And as a business owner, you have to make time for that.
Absolutely.
You have to schedule that into your calendar because there's, many different aspects behind the scenes that people don't see that go on, and especially as a business owner, and that's something it is that I talk about because I run into a lot of people that, oh, Carmelle, I want to start a business, I'm going to make, $50,000 next month. And and I go, no, you're not. It just doesn't work that way. You have to put in the work, and it takes time. It takes a lot of energy and effort, and there's a skill that goes into being a business owner. And what I find is that there's some people out there that are great at selling, maybe their product or service, the marketing part, but they don't have the business side of it. And then there's some that have the business side of it, but then when it comes to selling, and getting the word out there, they don't have it, and so that's where it comes in in not doing things by yourself. I'll say that, and having some support, having, an accountability partner, a mentor, or someone that you're able to connect with.
So then, when you talk about selling, do you think that there are two different types of selling? For instance, selling someone else's product versus selling your own? Yes,
there is definitely two different types of selling when it comes to that, but the thing I guess behind that is having the passion and the drive and the determination to get out there and sell, be it if it's your own product or someone else's product, and so for me, because it was my own product, of course, I was able to get out there and sell and do what needed to be done because I was passionate about the product. And that's one thing it is that we have to be, if your product is shampoo, headbands, or something it is that you have created, be passionate about the product and know the product.
Right. And, and I can see where your product was very beneficial to women because I don't know, maybe it's because I just know more people, but I'm finding more women are getting breast cancer or some other form of cancer. And it's just like, oh my gosh, And where do you go to find the things that you need to make you still feel beautiful?
Yes. Yes, and that was one of my inspirations in regards to creating that hairpiece, because when I was 28, I lost my hair to chemotherapy. So
Oh, wow.
yes, I was diagnosed at 16 with lupus, and
Oh,
so from many of trips back and forth to the hospital in 1998, I ended up getting very sick, and had to go through some chemotherapy treatments where I lost my hair. Well,
mm.
what ended up happening was, from the loss of my hair, when my hair started to grow back, it grew in very thick. The texture of it was different. And then
Wait.
yes.
Okay. What did you do to make it grow back thick?
Well, it wasn't me.
Oh,
I don't know if it was the medication, if it was just my body. I'm not sure. But yeah, my hair grew back
wow.
in really thick, and the texture of it was different. And my hair was like jet black. And what was happening was, I was, still had doctor's appointments and things, but
Mhm.
my hair became unmanageable. Because still at this point I wasn't feeling well, but I had to still do what I needed to do. If it was go to the grocery store, pick up medicine, go to the doctor, whatever it was. And I wanted something that I could feel good in,
Right.
and still be able to do what I needed to do. I had done my research in regards to wigs and everything else that was out there, but I was like, you know what, this doesn't fit for me. So the thought came to me, well, let me make something. And how this happened was, I said, I'm going to create something of my own. And this way I can get out the door and I can be on time, because I was finding myself late everywhere because I'm trying to get my hair together. And so I
Right.
created this hairpiece, and I showed it to a friend of mine, and she told me, she says, Carmelle, I love it. And I went, oh, okay, great. Yeah, I made this for myself so I can, get out the door. And she says, you need to start your own business. And I went, no, I don't want to start my own business. I just want to look good and feel good and go to the doctor and come home. And she says, listen, she says, if you go ahead, you make some hair pieces and we'll have a party. She said, I'll get some women together. If they sell, you start your business. If they don't sell, I'll leave you alone. And I said, okay, fine. And so I'm thinking, I'm gonna do this, and nothing's gonna happen and stuff and everything. And sure enough, we did the party and I ended up selling all the hair pieces.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so then I was like, well, I guess she was right. Okay. So that's when, and like I said, I started Mascu Inc. and started the business of the hair pieces. Now, what happened with Mascu Inc. was, I'm doing the transactions and I'm selling the hair pieces and I'm making the money, but I'm not building relationships.
Ah.
And that is when I realized, yeah, I've got, women that are, coming and buying hair from me, and hey, yeah, okay, great. And then they're gone,
Mm-hmm.
and they may come back again, or they may not, come back
Mm-hmm.
again. But then what I realized is, I'm like, the importance of business is really building relationships.
Absolutely.
And that is when I started Women in Business Expo Group, like I said, in February of 2015, because the goal there was to really build relationships with other women. And I always tell all of my members, build the relationship and the money will come. Don't look for the money, build the relationship. Because when
Well
we feel
said.
comfortable, yes, with one another's product, or we know,
Mm-hmm.
the work it is that you're doing, we're more apt to be like, oh yes, I know Brenda, she does great work. Go see her, and we'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk. And so that's the thing with business now, is it's relationships.
That you summed it up absolutely excellent, because that's what I've learned too. It's about relationships. I ran into a lady a couple nights ago. My husband and I were out for dinner, and I didn't see her at first. I saw the back of her, but she came up to me and she said, "Aren't you Brenda?" And I said, "Yeah." And she told me her name. I said, "Oh my gosh, I hadn't seen her for years." And she's in the
Oh,
real estate business still. And so I said, "Oh, wow." I said, "I can't believe it." I said, "So wonderful to see you again." So we exchanged cards, because I'm a mobile notary and I do loan signings, as well as anything that needs to be pretty much notarized. And I also do estate planning documents and end of life planning. I'm a facilitator. So we exchanged cards again, and it was just, I said, "Oh my gosh," but it was just good to see her. It wasn't about any future business. It was that I was really genuinely glad to see her, because I really liked her energy.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what it's about. It's like I said, it's building those relationships. It's very important, in business and just in social life.
Mhm.
You know,
So
I
what are the other services that Women in Business Expo Group offers?
Well, great question. Glad that you asked that. Um, some of our services is, as you mentioned, the monthly empowerment sessions. And this is where, again, we bring the resources to the small business owner. So for those of you that are out there that are looking for resources, the connections, everything, those are our monthly empowerment sessions. We also have our youth entrepreneurship program. And I love this this program here. What we do and been doing the work for the last 4 years is working with local and national detention centers. And we provide them with the fundamentals of entrepreneurship. And we usually work with youth age 13 to 3. We've been doing our workshops via Zoom, and our workshops are usually how we kind of had them scheduled was once a month. But since we've been doing this now for the last 4 years, a lot of the facilities or the detention centers it is that we work with, they have asked, if we can do one a week, one workshop a week, or even two a week, just to complete the program so that the kids are definitely more engaged and everything. So
That's wonderful.
yes. So I'm excited about this program. I love doing this work with the youth that are incarcerated, because we want to let them know, that just because it is that you've made a mistake in life doesn't mean that things are over with for you.
Correct.
So our first workshop, this was where we talk about getting started in business, which is great. We have Neil Shabazz from the SBA, who is usually our presenter at that workshop. And talks about some of the characteristics, getting a business license, a city license, filing with the Secretary of State, and kind of what it takes to get started in business. Our second workshop, this is our Trials to Triumph workshop. And this is where we bring in ex-felons that are now successful business owners. Wow. So I've got a good group of people out there who I love and adore, who shared their story of overcoming barriers with the kids. I just adore these people because they share their testimony, their story, their background, and they're all now in some way, shape, or form successful business owners. The third workshop is our social media and financial literacy workshop. And this is where we talk about being a business owner online. You don't necessarily need to have a brick and mortar. You can sell online, be it, Facebook, Etsy, eBay, whichever these sites out here that you want to sell on, but understanding some of the dynamics of social media. And then we also present financial literacy. And this is where we talk about budgeting expenses. What goes out, what comes in as a business owner, credit, that's something that is very important that our kids need to know. So we touch on those. And then our workshop number 4, which is our community resource workshop. And this is where we bring in agencies, organizations, second chance employers, those it is that are out there that say, hey, you know what, I'm interested in hiring, a person that has a background or second chance, or even mentoring them. Because that's what we find a lot of the kids need is mentorship. Someone it is that's willing to guide them along the way and help them, to make better decisions in life. Right. is what it's about. Yes. So our workshop number 4, that's our community resource workshop, where, like I said, we bring in those agencies, organizations, schools, and second chance employers together, to let the kids know we are here for you. And what we do at the end of those 4 workshops is we put together a resource guide for each attendee there in the workshop, so that when the kids are released, they can walk away with something that's tangible and say, hey, I remember this person from workshop number 2 or workshop number 4. I want to reach out to them and find out more information and what I need to do, to maybe hopefully be able to overcome barriers and better their life.
Wow. So, that is fabulous.
Yeah. So I love that program. Like I said, the work it is that we do there. I've been doing it for the last 4 years with local detention centers, but also we have one facility in Atlanta, Georgia that we work with too.
Oh,
so,
my.
Yes, always good work with the kids. And if there is anyone out there that wants to volunteer their time or interested in talking to the kids, like I said, I'm always looking for those it is to come on in and be able to be a part of the work it is that we do here at Women in Business Expo Group too. Like I said, I have a good group of those that are ex-felons that they're like, Carmelle, tell me when the next one is, as they love sharing their story.
Oh, wonderful. If you're just tuning in, you're listening live to Seniors Matter with your host, Brenda Charles Edwards, on www.RainierAvenueRadio.world. your South Seattle community radio station. We're here on Fridays at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Do you know what's the best legacy we can give ourselves and our loved ones? Join me on Zoom or in person for a group or individual session on legacy end-of-life planning. Plan today for peace tomorrow. You may contact me at 206-683-2636. Now, back to my wonderful guest, Ms. Carmelle Bias. She's also a radio talk show host of on Women Empowerment Talk Radio on the one and only Rainier Avenue Radio.world. So is there a membership to join?
Yes, there is a membership for Women in Business Expo group to join that. All the information there is on the website. There's two different packages there, and the difference in between the two, one, the basic package, or we call it the Emerald package, starts out, I want to say $149, and then the Premier package is $199. Now that's for the year. That is for the year. And if you take a look at the website, you can see all the benefits it is that you get along with the packages. The difference in between the two is one allows you to sell your products and services on our website. So it is an e-commerce site too, where you can post your services, your products. And the benefit for that is to create an additional stream of income for the business owner. So
Wow.
You may have your own website, you may not, you might just sell on Facebook or Instagram or one of these other social media sites. But if for those out there that may be looking for an additional stream of income to come in, you can check out the website there and take a look and see if it's definitely a fit for you. And I wanted to make this because as we transition, like I said, into COVID, kind of vending and everything slowed down and things like, but I wanted to create that online marketplace for business owners to be able to sell all year around. So
do you help them with putting a website together, designing one?
What we've done, and this was with one client, is that we put together a PowerPoint presentation for him, which we did kind of a mock website that contained the homepage, the contact us, his partnership page, everything it was that he wanted. And that way he could take that to his web designer. And then the web designer would go, oh, okay, this is what you want. Okay. And it would make it easier on him, because I know it's kind of hard for some people to be able to, communicate. And especially when it comes to web design, exactly what it is that they want. Now some people, it's a lot easier for it, but for him, and like I said, he was definitely is one of the clients. We wanted to make things easier on him. So if they need the help, yes, we can provide. And when it comes to, like I said, social media, web design, business plan writing, marketing plan, there are a lot of connections it is that we have here that we can definitely refer you to. So,
okay, that's good.
Yeah. And I do, I was going to say real quickly, and I do work with a group of young ladies here too that are social media savvy. So
you got to have them in there. You got to
Right.
have them. So would you tell my audience your website, please?
Yes. For those that are interested in learning more or contacting us directly, you can visit our website, which is www.wibeg.biz. My email address is womeninbusinessexpogroup@yahoo.com, or I can be reached directly by phone 206-331-5964. So those are usually the best ways it is to contact us for more information or details. Also, to take a look at the website. We've got a great event coming up, and I want to tell your listeners about that.
Yes. Okay. But you better do that now. But before you do, give me the cell phone, your phone number again.
It's 206-331-5964.
Okay. Tell about your event.
Yes. So coming up, we have our health and wealth workshop. Our first series is going to be July 30th at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. It is via Zoom. If you go to the website, there is a flyer up there and there's a registration link. Want everybody to go ahead and register for this upcoming event. We will have the second series will be August 27th, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. via Zoom. You will find information on the website also too about that, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can email me either way, but we definitely want to get the word out about the health and wealth workshop. Our goal here is to bring awareness to our community in regards to health, especially during this time as we transition from summer to fall, and let others know about the work it is that we're doing to support our community.
Well, we also have it posted on the screen too.
Yes. Great.
Okay, so we're running out of time, but can you tell me in the next 5 to 10 years, where do you see Women in Business Expo Group and yourself?
Yes. In the next 5 to 10 years, we've already done 10 years, which I'm so excited and proud of. But
Yes,
but
that's
the
true.
next
Yeah.
10 years is definitely, growing and being able to connect with our community, being able to educate and support and empower those it is that are interested in entrepreneurship and continuing on with the work it is that we have already, started. So we're excited for that. For myself in the next 5 to 10 years, is definitely to be here and continue on with staying dedicated and committed to this nonprofit organization, to my community, and to those it is that I serve. So I'm going to continue on no matter what.
Well, that's good. I'm glad, and and I love your energy, and I will be talking to you because my husband is listening to my show, and I will review the organization again.
Yes. Yeah. We'd love to have you.
Oh gosh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
So let's see. You gave the contact information. We talked about upcoming events, and we said what you're going to do. Well, real quickly, what are 3 characteristics that you would say a business owner needs?
Yes. 3 characteristics, and I thought about this question. Integrity, you have to be resilient,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely, you have to be able to delegate.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. And some people don't have that ability, but it's something it is that you can definitely learn. And I've learned it. So if I can do it, I know someone else can do it also too. And those would be my top 3 was integrity. I usually do my best to try and, be on time. If I say I'm going to do something, do it, follow through, with what I say, and be transparent in this work it is that I do, because people want honesty. They want the truth. They don't want to be, BS or anything. So that's my main thing is and like I said, and being able to delegate and and work with others.
Right.
Work with others. I'm telling you, to be by yourself in this, it's hard.
Right. Camille, I'm going to have to stop you, hon, because Daniel has told me there's a show after mine. And I have to say there are 2 concerts: Seafair Weekend at Columbia City Theater, August 1st, Reggae Night, August 2nd, Lenny Kravitz Tribute. Camille, we will talk later. I am so excited that you were able to be on my show. And my listening audience, thank you for being here and your support. And thank you to my DJ I'm using his music, Ragtime. Have a great weekend. Be safe and live your life like it's golden. I'll call you.